Hey guys, wanted to do, it's not a review, it's just kind of an initial impressions video, and it's also a video for someone, a YouTuber who sent me a message and wanted to know a couple things about the Leafstorm. As a matter of fact, I need to read that message to make sure I'm answering all of his questions. I saw your video on Leafstorm. Video is wondering if knife is overpriced, high quality size. Kind of like the balance. Yes, the balance is overpriced. It really is. I guess my question is worth money. Okay, first of all, is it worth the money? Uh, for me, it is, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But I mean, that's subjective, really. But for me, this is definitely worth the money. I bought 3 of them, if that tells you anything. I really, really, really like this knife a lot. Like, too much for a little knife, I think. No, the lock bar is not carburized. It's not treated at all. At all. I'll get to that also, the durability. And your last question I'm going to answer while I'm doing this. I may start doing this. If you guys have messages, and I get a lot, and I think it can be answered via video better than text, then I may do a video. Let me know if you guys are cool with that or not. But since this is not a review, I'm just going to tell you what I think about the knife. Ignore all these other knives. This is just kind of my mat. When I'm sitting here on the computer, I have an array of knives. The G10, I'm going to zoom in and give you a detailed look. The G10 is kind of strange. It's almost like it was peel ply and somebody sanded the peaks and, well, just the peaks. They sanded the peaks down. So now you have this sort of, it has a feel to it, but there's no grip, if that makes sense. The G10 is very thick and sturdy, and there's absolutely zero flex in the G10 when you're gripping this knife. I mean, there's not enough space in between here for it to actually flex at all, and it's so thick that it's just not going to flex. I mean, that feels like steel, honestly. There is absolutely no give in it at all. It has no grip, but it's still cool. I mean, it's not slick by any means, but it just doesn't provide the same grip as like peel ply G10. I like the color too. The jade is really cool. I dig it a lot. It is like a 2¼ inch blade, which is very capable for me. It can do probably 90% of my EDC tasks. It's a hollow grind, and it's very thin at the edge, so it's going to cut really well. No choil. You don't need a choil on a knife this small. The jimping is really good. Again, this is just an initial impressions video, so it's not a review at all. Jimping's really good. It's coarse. Doesn't hurt your fingers at all, though. Pocket clip is just tip up and just right hand. Perfectly fine for me because that's normally how I carry them. It is a titanium frame lock, and he asked, was the frame lock carburized? It is not. It's not treated at all. But I don't think it's going to wear that quickly, just by the way they have the geometry set up on this thing. Mine has worn a lot since I got it, just in a day, but it's because I've been constantly flicking it, and I think it's just that initial wear in that frame locks have. I don't expect it to go any further for a long, long time. It was a lot earlier, like that maybe when I got it, and now if I flick it, which I often do, it's much deeper, as you can tell. The actual part that's locking up is the far right corner, so it's a little bit past 50% now. But the lock face does have a curvature like that, and right now the lock bar, say this portion's flat, the lock bar is just now right here, so I don't suspect it going any further than that. It just wore through this flat spot fairly fast and is now here. So I don't expect it to go further at all. I know I've said that like 10 times. Screw together construction, I dig that. I like being able to adjust my knives. Uh, Stop pin rotates and is adjustable, I heard. Don't know if that really does anything because it's not eccentric, I think is the word. It's not oblong, it's actually a perfect circle, so or a perfect cylinder, so I don't see how turning it would adjust anything. But who knows? Does have a lanyard hole, but it doesn't go through to the other side. It comes in the top right here and out the side of the G10. Pretty neat design. I actually like that a lot. I don't know why. I just like it. Um, it is S30V, which we all know how S30V performs. I've taken a real liking to it recently just because of all the cutting I've done. It is a excellent steel. It is an excellent steel. I'm trying to get my grammar correct. Uh, is it worth the money? To me, it is, just because the fit and finish is so high, and also it's a made in America product. And I do like to buy made in America things when I can, but I'm not opposed to buying foreign made things. Everything is really nicely fit and really nicely finished. As you can see, all the titanium surfaces have been beveled. All around here it's been beveled. Really nice touch. It looks really classy. Everything is fit perfectly. The line between the G10 and the titanium is just perfect. As you can see, no gaps or anything. It's completely flush. Everything is just as you would expect for a high dollar knife. And this isn't like a $400 knife, but $175 roughly, I think it is, for a knife this small is kind of expensive. I mean, but you're getting a lot of knife in a small package. It's a very, very capable knife, very comfortable knife with a good steel and excellent fit and finish. The balance is not a golden knife. I'm pretty sure it's made in Japan or Taiwan. I can't remember. But you would think just because it's foreign made that it would have a lower price, but it's actually a fairly expensive knife. And this guy compared this to the balance, which price-wise they're a little comparable, but actual function and form, they're totally different in my eyes. I do like the way they have these two shelves set up. A lot of knives, I have a problem with gripping them hard and pushing the lock bar in further, which I do not like at all. This knife is cool. It has these two shelves, and your pinky finger and pointer finger land on these shelves, and then you have all this empty space so that your fingers aren't putting pressure on the lock bar. All your pressure is on these two fingers right here. So you can grip the knife really, really hard without putting pressure on the lock bar. And I like that a whole lot. Don't know what else I can say about it. 2¼ inch blade, hollow grind. Very lean at the edge, so it should be a really good slicer. It's actually a fairly thick blade. I would say that's 2 mil, 2.5 mil. It almost looks like 3, but I'm not sure it is. They say the Paramilitary 2 is 3 mil thick, and it actually looks identical. So I think the blade's 3 mil thick, which is stout, very stout for a 2.5 inch blade. No choil. You don't need one on this knife at all, in my opinion. This is not a hard use knife. Just because it has a frame lock does not mean it's hard use. I'm not going to say any names, but people who like to beat the crap out of their knives, it's meant to be a pocket folder. It's actually meant to fit in your watch pocket, which it does perfectly on jeans and like polo shorts. Fits perfectly. It's not something you're going to beat the crap out of. It's made to open packages, trim strings. I mean, open clamshell, open envelopes. It's light duty, and it excels at those kind of tasks. Just overall, a really cool knife, a really unique knife. It is very smooth. Just the look of it to me is so unique that I really wanted it. There's nothing else really like it, even in the small knives category. There's nothing else really like it. The Dragonfly, not even similar. The balance is not even similar to me. So it's a really cool knife. It locks up like a tank. I mean, if you really twist on it, it may have a little bit of side to side, but I have it loose, so I could definitely tighten that out. And vertically, it's one of the most solid knives that I've ever handled, actually. So the lock is actually really good. Fits really nicely. I think I answered all of your questions. Let me read it one more time. Yeah, I think I answered your questions. So, oops, excuse me. In my eyes, it is worth the money. Just because of the quality and the uniqueness. It's very unique. I think that's it. I'm going to give you some close-up shots on it just to let you see the knife in detail. And then I'll cut it out. That's a mean looking blade, especially for a small knife. It has a really cool look to it. And also the natural, this is actually natural G10, uncolored. They call it jade, but it's natural. You can see how thick the G10 is here. Extremely thick. Very strong. When the jade G10 is in the sunlight, it has a really unique look to it. It's very cool. Made in Golden, Colorado. This is a collaboration knife, so this doesn't follow Spyderco's normal form. Nice pocket clip. Nice small pocket clip. Show it to you closed. Very cool knife. Anyway, think that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.